Yeah, shit, yeah. Something like. I ain't doing too much.
Right.
Uh,
Just a little something.
yeah. Waiting on them. I sent them the message.
Okay.
Yeah, right.
Told
Yeah,
him how
but
you got to get on, right?
the who?
You told him how you had to get on, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah,
Yeah,
through the Zoom. Yeah. Yeah, but man, whew, oh god. So I was reading a little situation on. You see Mustafa Ali.
Yeah.
Yeah. He trying to get out. He trying to get released, but they won't let him.
Why?
You tell me. After all the releases y'all been doing that, now
People
y'all
that
want to
want to
keep
go, they
on
won't let them go.
yeah, like all the releases y'all don't let go. Now this man want to go. Y'all want to keep him.
That's crazy, bro.
Man, I don't know. I'm WWE. They just surprise me every day.
So who you got first? Who are gonna be our special guest tonight? Tonight.
Local talent.
Okay.
Nasir Santana.
Nasir.
Nasir Santana. Yeah.
Must I have
Yeah. He impressive. Yeah, he impressive. Mm-hmm. So we're gonna talk to him, see what is. You know, he got some stuff going on. So you know.
Right.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Right. Man, but yeah, man. If the people that would like the girl, what her name, the white girl, is it Tony? Tony Storm? Is it Tony Storm?
Oh,
You know what I'm talking about?
Tony was my girl. Like,
Yeah, she left though. Like she just like said, fuck it.
yeah, like, come on now. If you know you're giving the same people the same thing, like, come on now. I mean, you got a whole locker room over here.
Right.
They can be just as impressive, yeah. So, but then you don't give them bullshit. You get what I'm saying?
Exactly.
Yeah.
Okay, so he come from CCW. He wrestled in CCW, but you know the independents, they be all over.
They be all over, yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. He gonna be on the he gonna be the February
Oh, okay.
yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, he got a match against a guy from Deerfield I was telling you about.
Okay.
Yeah, so waiting on him to hurry up and come through.
Shoot, man. You know how it be sometime, man.
Yeah.
It be like that sometime. Tell you, man.
I was so bored at work today. I was so bored at work. I watched the first Royal Rumble.
The first Royal Rumble ever?
Yeah. But
I know that was an experience.
You'll never get that again. Cause the crowd into it and on a Hacksaw Jim Duggan match.
That's what I'm trying to tell you. Hacksaw Jim Duggan was hot at one point.
Yeah. And then
he always been hot, to be honest with you, because that USA chant was just like the yes chant from Daniel Bryan. Daniel Bryan, I mean, I don't know why I put an O in front of his name.
Yeah. And you wanna know how over that was? I remember watching WrestleMania 6 them in Canada. Hacksaw Jim Duggan coming out there with the US flag and got the Canada crowd chanting US.
Right.
He fighting a Canadian. He coming out with the flag and he's a USA.
Country
and the
don't
damn
turn.
crowd chanting USA. Like, what the heck?
Whole country don't turn, don't you? That's how you know that it was powerful, bro.
Yeah, but come on now, man. This man is American with an American flag. The other guy, he was fighting Dino Bravo.
Mm-hmm.
Canadian.
Mm-hmm.
Hacksaw come out with the flag chanting USA and the whole crowd chanting USA. I mean, this y'all guy, he Canadian.
They used to start the chant before the match too.
Yeah.
And then he circling around the ring. USA.
Yeah. So, but you can't get like you go. Oh, there you go.
What's going on, my brother?
What's up, bro?
I don't think you can hear us. You can hear us?
Yes, sir. 1 second. All right, cool. Yeah, I can hear you all.
Okay, we can hear you too. Marlon, introduce our guest that we have on the show with us today, man.
Okay, yeah. All right. Let me this local talent, Nasir Santana.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
That's it. I said it right. Okay, yeah. I was trying to practice it right, give you the right proper introduction.
I appreciate that.
Well, first I was just gonna say Santana.
That's what everybody call me.
Yeah, Santana. Yeah, I was gonna get the Santana part right because Santana. And they don't know Santana. That's a powerful name. That one, you could just say that one Santana and be all right. Yeah.
You do make sure everybody be able to contact you. You put the whole thing on there so ain't no confusion. And get the right person.
Yeah.
Well, man, we like to welcome to the show, man. I don't know if you've seen some of our previous shows that we had with guests we have on the show, but what we do is we give our guests the platform. Basically, we like to get in the mindset of you know what I'm saying, as far as your creativity, all positive stuff, of course, you know what I'm saying,
Absolutely.
What keep you going, what's your drive, you know what I'm saying, and Marlon got his top 5 at the end of the Zoom cast, but all through in that, bro, like, this is your flow as far as, like, you know what I'm saying, how you came up and what got you into wrestling in the first place. We always start with that.
All right, for sure. I love that topic. Alexa, turn my lights white.
Yeah, it is.
All right. What got me into wrestling? I would say I always had a thing for wrestling. Like my cousin actually exposed me to wrestling, and then from there everything else was just all me. I want to say when I was a kid, he was watching wrestling during the Attitude Era, called me in the room and just like hit me with a rock bottom because he hadn't just seen The Rock do it.
Right.
And in that moment, I was kind of like stunned, but I was also kind of amazed because I was like, what the hell was that? But it was really cool. So ever since then, that brought up my exposure, and I've just been like watching wrestling ever since.
Right.
But then there's also a part where wrestling, I guess, with every wrestler, there's always, what they say, there's always a story and a why, they got into the business.
Mm-hmm.
For me growing up, coming from the city or whatever, it wasn't always the best environment growing up. So when I got exposed to wrestling and I got back into it a little bit older, I didn't really have, I want to say, too many friends to kind of lean on. So to like develop my persona and stuff, I watched wrestling.
Right.
So I guess you can say I was eating, breathing, and shit in wrestling from a young age, but I just didn't get into the business until recently. So yeah, I kind of like watched a couple of wrestlers, and like those who I liked, I developed, I kind of like mimicked and developed their persona. And that was kind of like growing up when you don't have the person that you need to be around, you kind of got to be strong for yourself, So that was my way of developing, the person I needed when I didn't have them around.
Right, your own character.
Exactly.
Gotcha.
So fast forward, not my biological dad, but the guy that raised me, I'll call him my father or whatever, rest in peace, because he passed away in 2018. But when he came into my life 14 years ago, we bonded off of wrestling. That was like our thing.
Yeah, man. Whoever get the job done is the man, bro.
Exactly. That's why he gets all credit. I give him credit through everything. My biological father, excuse my language, I don't fuck with him at all.
We understand. Yeah, understand.
But the dude that raised me, I give him the most high. So yeah, he bonded with me. At first, I was stubborn because when you grow up without a father, and then some other male figure comes in and they're trying to assert authority and and plant the dominance, it's kind of like I was a little bit rebellious. But then at first, the saying, at first you had my curiosity, but now you piqued my interest. And that's kind of what it was. That's kind of how our relationship developed. And over time, we would watch wrestling, and we would play video games based off of wrestling, and he would just introduce me to a bunch of old school stuff. Bob Buckland and a bunch of people. From there, I would just evolve and grow, and then from there I started doing like high school wrestling.
Okay.
I physically started getting into it, like getting into the groove of it. I started off with like a little bit of backyard wrestling, as do everyone else. But you know, most people think, okay, you started out backyard wrestling. That's not something that's going to stick with you. That's just kind of like a phase or whatever that you're going through. A lot of people didn't know that was really sacred to me.
Gotcha.
So as time went on, I got into like high school wrestling. I wrestled all my years of high school.
Well, high school.
I wrestled for Miami Norland Senior High, and then I transferred and wrestled for Charles W. Flanagan, which is over in Broward by C.D. Smith. I wrestled for them. I was gonna make something of it, but my senior year, I tore my ACL in my left leg, and that was a day before my first match. And my senior year, I'm thinking, all right, it's no comeback for that. All my dreams are over. You feel me? I just might as well focus on living a regular life.
Right.
So the story leading up to like my dad and stuff. Okay, so in 2018, one of my cousins who I grew up with, I consider her like one of my sisters, she passed away of cancer.
Okay.
And then 2 weeks afterwards, my great grandmother passed away.
Oh.
And then 2 weeks after that, my dad passed away.
Oh.
Wow. Yeah. So I was in like a really, really, really dark place. Like it was horrible.
Yeah, man.
Yeah, it was crazy. And I was able to cope with my grandmother's death because I was able to find out how she continued to live on through me. But my father, because he wasn't, biological, and there wasn't really that sense of, connection, I had to find a way to continue. Right. So I just, one day I looked up a school, I went out there, and I got in the ring. And even getting in the ring for the first time, it felt symbolic to me. It felt like I was finally on a chapter towards healing that part of my life. So I got in the ring. First time I got in the ring, I did some crazy shit that people probably didn't think someone off the street would normally do. But once again, my whole background was based off of building the person I needed that I didn't have.
Mentally, you was already, ahead of your time. Yeah. You just need to get the body aspect of it. Just know what the fuck. I got you.
So fast forward that I've been started wrestling at Coastal Championship Wrestling, CCW. Did my thing there for a little over a year and a half. And fast forward to where we are now. Okay. And even to this day, I still give, most credit, to my dad, because honestly, his death was painful. But looking at it, because I'm a very spiritual person, so looking at it from like a universal aspect of it, his death was painful to me, but it also was the next chapter in my life of being where I needed to be, because had he not died, I probably wouldn't have started wrestling.
Right. So that's very good that you see that. You know what I'm saying? And I feel that as being basically a symbol in your life. You know what I'm saying? When you step in the ring, that was like the confirmation. Basically. Yeah, I got you.
And even though everyone wants to say, oh, wrestling's this, wrestling's that, a lot of people.
Yeah, I know. Yeah, I was already coming with that.
Yeah,
I was already coming with that question. Yeah,
but it's good that you bring it up, because everybody we had on, bro, they always get to that point where they say a lot of people say this about wrestling and say that. But bro, it's good. Go ahead and get it out. What's your testimony on it?
My testimony is a lot of people want to say, oh, wrestling's fake, wrestling's this, wrestling that, and I always challenge them like, yo, if you think it's fake, get in the ring.
There you go.
I promise you, get in the ring.
I mean, hey man,
those hits where they say, oh, he didn't even touch the guy. Nah, his fist didn't. But if you feel your first forearm, you will realize, oh yeah.
Which is even more, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah. When you get your first chop and you take your first bump, not even your first successful bump, because wrestling is all trial and error. When you take your first bad bump, that'll honestly make you think, is this really for me? Like, do I really want to do this? Like, I took that bump and I wasn't able to walk good for like a month. And a lot of people think like that, and they be like, yo, if I can't walk good in a month, imagine what would happen if, a move goes wrong and this is that and the third. And that scares them away from the business. And I tell people that a lot of times, like, you can't have that mentality, but also at the same time want to say wrestling is fake or wrestling is choreographed. I say, because Spider-Man just came out and you went to go see it the first day, but do you all know that that's fake?
Right.
I tell people that all the time. That Spider-Man you went to go see was fake. I say the only difference between us is when we get in that ring, we have one take.
Yeah.
That's it.
That's
Ain't no cut. Run that back, dog. You
run it back.
ain't even no time out.
Because shit, I always wanted to get into wrestling, and I was like at one indie show. I took one bump, a slam. I said, "Oh hell no!"
Yeah, and that's what.
And that was like okay. Me watching on TV, hell yeah, I want to get in there and go do that. And I took that one slam. I said, "Oh damn it, I gotta do this every night."
Yeah.
So coming up, from Miami, right? Coming up, were you like into like other sports like basketball, football?
I played. I did a little bit of archery as a kid at our Park.
Okay, there you go.
That's different. Okay, I wouldn't say it's
there
different,
but
it's good that you did that for Black kids to see. Is other stuff that you could do other than.
And that's my biggest thing now. Looking back at everything that I've done with wrestling within the past year, for me, representation is very important in this business, and I say that a lot. Like I get joy seeing all the kids, happy and entertained by what I do, but I get the most joy when I see the Black kids. Right. It brings me the most joy because a lot of people don't want to say it, but wrestling really was a big staple back in the Black households back in like the 80s and the 90s.
Yeah, man.
A lot of people just don't want to admit it because we didn't have a lot of champions at that time for people to look up and be proud of and say, oh, yeah, I love wrestling because we have this guy.
But it still brought family together because it was on more frequently than boxing was, because boxing was like every other year, or, I'm saying, maybe one match out of the year. Wrestling was always continuous, so that's a good comment that you brought up. It did bring a lot of Black families together. I'm talking about your uncles and stuff come over, and you know what I'm saying, and we all watch. So you're right about that, bro. And I hadn't looked at it, and I should have, but you're absolutely right about that.
Yeah, so that's why for me in this business, representation is very important, and not just for people of color, but for all the kids growing up. Because with everything that we have going on in this world, the stuff that we're seeing now at our age, we didn't have to worry about that growing up.
Right.
So that's like a lot more stress on the younger generation on top of trying to figure out what they're going to do when they graduate college or when they graduate high school. On top of still trying to keep that childhood dream alive. On top of still trying to figure it out in this world that we live in now, because everything's being inflated. So it's crazy.
And I'm gonna tell you, man, within itself is a blessing just to have like your purpose in life. You know what I'm saying? When you found that niche and you doing it for the passion, and at the same time, you getting compensated. You ain't where you want to be being compensated, but you on your way.
I tell people that too. A lot of people try to clown me and be like, oh. They'll ask me, oh, how much do you make off of bookings? How much do you do this? Is it this and that and the third? You're not making no big bucks to be doing this with your body. Is it worth it? And I tell people, and I say this one thing, and that shuts down the entire conversation. I tell people, what do you want? What did you want to be when you grow up? And they'll tell me something, and I say, but right now, you're dedicated to that call center that you work at. I tell them all the time, I say, so don't try to come for what I do because I'm living my dream.
Exactly. There you go. And
bro, to be honest with you, it's stages to everything, bro. Even if you're doing anything professional, you got to do something for you to get some type of film. Like, ain't nobody just gonna take your word on it. Yeah, I could go and I could do moonsaults off the rope, and when I come through, I don't bleed easy, nothing, man. We want to see. So you got to have some type of work, some type of profile, or a resume, however you want to put it, to show what you can do. And that's with anything. Even when people go overseas to play basketball, I mean, they doing that to, perhaps get in the NBA or wherever they're trying to go. So any lane you in, you got to take that step, bro. You know what I'm saying? Everybody don't get ushered in. Then you got some people family in, but, that's a whole nother situation. But for the normal and the average person, man, that's the step you got to take.
Right.
And anybody that looking down on you, bro, that's just motivation you need. You know how that go.
Yeah, I always take it as motivation, and when I say my comment or when I say my rebuttal, I never want to say it to make someone be like, "Oh, damn, he think he better than me." I want to say it to trigger something in you to be like, "Well, damn, if he living his childhood dream, what's stopping me?"
What's mine?
Because I didn't per se say anything insulting. I just said exactly what was directly there. Like, it's a direct comment. Like, you're trying to come from my dream, but what are you doing with yours?
Yours, yeah.
Yeah. What about your situation? Because I know for down show
Don't worry about mine. Don't worry about mine, because when I clock out, I already know either I'm finna go get in the ring or I'm finna go get on the road to go do something.
Right.
Exactly. And I would say this. You know, just me going to, I don't know what CCW show that was. Was it? Had to be was it at
Bruce show.
Extreme?
At Extreme Action Park?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. Now my first thing when I seen you, I'm looking like, okay. Oh no, you think he old pretty boy. Okay, what the hell he doing out there? But I'll be damn, like 5 minutes, I'm like, okay, this motherfucker impressive now. Okay, damn.
and that's
yeah. Yeah, like
because that's how I am with me. I tell people all the time, I'm just like, yo, I'm like behind the gorilla, behind the curtains, I'm someone different. But when I walk through the gorilla, my music hit, I get in that ring, I'm someone completely different.
Right.
I tell people all the time, I say I'm someone completely different. So I apologize if I might come off stiff in the ring, but I'm always very safe. I lay it in because I hate that stereotype where you watch wrestling, you be like, oh, they didn't connect at all.
Right.
Well, that didn't look real at all. Like, I hate that, and that makes me cringe because I watch wrestling as a worker, but I also still watch it as a fan. So I can appreciate it from two different aspects.
Gotcha. And see, a lot of people don't have that mindset. It's a good mindset. It's either or with some people. You look at it like that, you actually appreciate the art and what's going on in the ring, and not just say, "Oh, I missed him," whatever. You actually care. You give a fuck.
I'm real big on that. Like, I hate wrestling that. Well, I'm not gonna say hate because I love the business and I love the sport, but I dislike wrestling that doesn't make any sense.
Gotcha. So what's your take on like as far as where you see yourself at? As far as I want to say 5 years, I say the next 2 years, because you see how everything moving so fast. But we chop the 5 down and break it down to 2. That way you can plant that seed online with us tonight.
Yeah, I like that. I've been speaking a lot of things into existence, which is why towards the ending of December, or when December kind of kicked off, I wasn't posting on social media as much because I was aligning all my goals. A lot of people like to wait till the new year to start their goals, and I was like, I don't want to do that this year. I want to start at the beginning of December. That way, when January hits, it can already be a habit.
Right.
There you go.
I always say people New Year's on their birthday, but you got a whole nother year before your birthday again. But go ahead, I'm listening to you.
Dang, what was the question again? My bad.
No, you were saying your next 2 years. You're planning for the next 2 years.
2 years. So within my next 2 years, I plan to make a major name for myself. Not just for the indies, but hopefully on a major promotion, as well as in my city. I want to be coming from Miami. I want to be the next big thing. And I'm going to be the next big thing. And I speak that very humbly because I approach everything very humbly, and I approach everything from a big mindset. So within the next 2 years, hopefully I get to make some noise in Japan.
Okay.
I want to make some noise in Japan. If not, just be able to say I at least touched 2 of the major promotions, whether it's a WWE show, a AEW show, MLW, MXW,
Nirvana,
GCW.
Yeah, there you go. Yeah.
Whether it's any of those, I want to just be able to say that, all right, I made some moves. This year, I actually touched my first NWA show.
I saw that. I seen that.
Yeah. So that was really exciting for me, which was
that,
back in the last year. I was planting those seeds. I was saying, you know what? When January start, I'm finna shake and I'm finna make some noise. And last year was the pregame. This year we turning up.
That's right, man. That's why I want to hear the NWA experience. How was that?
Oh man, that was amazing. That was just amazing.
How it was before you even got into the venue, just riding up to the venue. How was you like like a kid in the candy store, right?
I was definitely a kid in the candy store, and I was also riding in the car with 3 other people. So for them, they're still fairly green in the business, but they were super hyped. Just about being able to come to that facility, but for me, being able to go there with the possibility of knowing that I may get put in the match, that was exciting. It was crazy. I looked when I walked out, I looked around, and literally every seat was filled. Even if it was in like a recreational center that the NWA was hosting something at, it was still amazing to walk out and see every seat filled.
Right.
The lighting, the atmosphere, the crowd, just everything. I just felt like just to be able to say that in my wrestling career that my feet touched the NWA canvas.
Yeah.
You know?
That's what's up, man.
What's up? Yeah.
So let me ask you, how's your workout regimen, bro? Like, do you get a chance to like really hit the gym a lot, or you basically just get it in when you can?
As of like 2 weeks ago, I kind of had to like get it in when I can. But normally my workout regimen is I'll wake up, I'll go to the UFit. I'll probably put in like 2.5 hours, depending on what I'm working out that day. And if I got time, I'll just, after that, I'll go and I'll roll, do my rolls, do a couple of bumps, and just go over psychology and stuff in my head.
Gotcha.
You know, like you have a lot of people that like to shadow box and stuff. For me, I like to shadow wrestle. So yeah, I kind of like, when it comes to like being active and working out and stuff, I probably want to say I probably get like a good 4.5 hours in when I actually sit down and actually start.
Okay.
Okay.
That's a pretty good time. And that time frame, that make up if you miss a day here and there.
Yeah, I mean, it truly does, because I get my strength and my cardio. I go over my rolls. I make sure everything's crisp. I'll shadow wrestle, or if I got somebody around me that's also in the business, I'll just chain with them for a few, go over a couple of things, probably go over like a spot or a move of the day, and then that's it. I'm good.
Good.
Because now that I'm like a year in, they got this thing. I'm pretty sure y'all know that they call the bump card.
Marley, you heard of the bump card?
Nah, I probably know what it is. Probably ain't know what the name of it.
It's after a certain point where you kind of want to reserve how much you put your body through the ringer, even if it's in a practice match, because now that you're getting up there, you don't want to risk bumping too much and then you get booked and then now you're injured and you kind of got to forfeit the booking, or you know, you bump in a practice match, but you know it's a serious injury and then now you out for XYZ amount of time.
So do you have a certain experience to get to that, or is that like a level? I want like a comparison to like a black belt or something like that. The bump card.
I would say yes. It definitely does take a certain level of experience. For me, when I first got into the business, when I first got into CCW when they was over in Fort Lauderdale, I would, when I had my vehicle at the time, I would normally get there before everybody else, and then I would probably be like the last one to leave, which was always a good mentality. And then over time, as I grew and I progressed and I got better, I would then come in and probably then stay for like 4 hours, and then go down to like 3 hours, and then go down to 2 hours. But then ultimately, I'll be there for 4 hours, but I'll probably be in the ring for 2.
Gotcha. So it's hard work and talent. Gotcha.
Because with a lot of people look and say like, I'll have a match, and then they'll come to me after the match and they'll say, "Are you okay?" And I'm just like, "Yeah, I'm fine." They were like, "Are you sure?" And I'm just like, "Yeah, why?" And they just like, "Oh, because the way you took that move, or the way you kind of like landed or did this, like I thought the person hurt you." And I'm just like, "Nah, it's just, you know, making the person look good and then making yourself look good." But
there you go.
It's a very selfless business.
Right.
You got to be selfless, but you also got to be firm in that business, in this business.
Right.
Me and Marlon was talking about that on our last episode we had, about how to be good to be a heel. Like the heel is like, if you had to choose out of facing heel, I would rather be heel, because all it is just basically making the crowd hate you, but at the same time making that person,
making the other person look good.
Look good, yeah.
Makes you look good. It depends on how you rock it, because you can say you can have that heel that nobody don't even want to watch. Or you can have that heel that everybody just want to come see get whooped, and you have the one that everybody think that's cool. You know what I'm saying?
The cool heel, you know.
So man, that's right on time, man.
So,
let's see. So Hey, we got your show. We want to talk about it. You're gonna be fighting in the show on you fighting on the 11th and the 12th February.
Say it loud. Yes, sir. I will be in the building.
Yeah,
Gotcha.
yeah. I'm ready for
Reggie
that.
Rhythm, who you fighting, right?
Reggie
Haitian Hurricane.
Yes,
All right,
sir.
man.
I'm excited.
And he from and you know it. We gonna be that room for you too. But Reggie Rhythm, he home team. He from Deerfield. We from Deerfield, bro. So we from Deerfield. Like
I respect that.
That's home
We
team.
gonna have
So
Broward versus State.
Yeah.
I respect that. That just means I got to bring my A game. That's all that is.
That's what day you in? You Friday or Saturday?
I honestly wouldn't know yet.
You don't know yet? Okay.
It's a 2-day weekend, which is why I encourage everybody to come out. If they looked at the itinerary on Eventbrite, it's a very big weekend for the culture.
Yes.
This past weekend, I recently went out to the MLK parade and we passed out flyers. And to be honest, they received those flyers real well, dude. Like I was surprised at how many people was like, oh yeah, all black wrestling, produced everything all black. First ever. Well, I wouldn't say first ever, but it's becoming an annual all black wrestling show. And the way I put it off is, which is true, black athletes, we don't get the recognition that we deserve.
Yes.
So the old saying is, sometimes the opportunity ain't gonna fall on your lap. You gotta make
Gotta go take it, man. And I got a feeling like this show gonna be so off the chain, bro. Like just where the all black crew, just us in general. You know how we do. We put little seasoning on everything. So it's gonna be so. I'm talking about as far as the moves that's done in the ring, what you guys do, the storytelling. Like I know it's gonna be so on point. And it'll be good if we can probably get probably get it in the newspaper and everything, bro. If you could, I don't know if we can get man. I don't know the promoter, but after this event, man, everybody, Harold, the Sun Signal. And put it on the map. Yeah, man. Yeah. And I was saying that too. Now we was
shout out, and that's another person I want to shout out. I want a big shout out to JB Cool, for giving me the opportunities that I've had so far as Reefamania, Say It Loud, the NWA Experience. Also shout out to Elijah Burke for giving me the confidence, even in me. And to be honest, what I did at MWA, that was my first ever ladder match, my first ever 6-man ladder match.
Okay.
Ooh.
With my first big name. So I definitely want to, shout out JB, the Pope, a lot of people, and, thank them for believing in me.
Oh, man, definitely. Because, hey, bro, a lot of people don't understand. It take people that don't even know you to be the ones to give you the opportunity and that chance. A lot of times in life and stuff you got to do. So all you got to do is just put yourself out there so you can be seen.
So question now is, you say you with the Pope Elijah Burke. Now, how that feel? That's literally somebody you watched growing up.
Dude, his ECW, I always said his ECW run was amazing to me.
Exactly.
His ECW run was amazing. It feels good to be able to say that the add Pope to my wrestling resume, to say that that's someone's show that I was able to be on. And honestly, anytime I get around Pope, even the first time I met him, it was just like family vibes. Like he felt like an uncle, like a cousin. So that was very appreciative. Like I appreciate that, and that's the vibes that I always like to feel when I go into a locker room.
Yeah, man, and that set the tone too, man. About like you being black and he being black, it's important to make you comfortable because back in the day, when a black man come into a situation like that, they want to be the only black person, so they're gonna make your time hard.
Oh yeah. Ooh.
You know what I'm saying? So it's nice to hear from you, actually somebody that's in it, that they out there setting that tone. And I'm pretty sure you'll carry that on too, and then so on and so forth. Domino effect. That's great, man.
Hope paid my way, so when it comes time for the next, young black athlete, I'll pay his way because Hope paid it forward with me. I'll pay it forward with the next person.
There you go. Yeah.
Marlon, bro, you ready for your top 5?
Oh yeah. Okay. This is simple. He in the business. Your top 5 all time.
Yeah, what you talking about all time? That's all categories: technical, charisma, everything, right?
Yes. Okay.
We talking big leagues, or we talking indies, or
whatever you like.
But whatever. Now, you know what? Cause
if you got an indie that's in your top five, that's
he did. He did skip because I was gonna say, shout out a couple on the indies who we need to check out. You know what I'm saying? And then we can go into the top five.
Okay.
Like I really want to know the indies.
Okay, so let's get the indies first. I feel you. Let's go at the indies first.
Let's get there. Okay. I'll do my top 5 in the indies for who I would want to face within the next 2 years.
Okay.
All right.
So my boy Jake St. Patrick.
My dog. That's my dog. I keep telling him.
When I first got into the business, I had the pleasure of working with him, training with him and learning a few things from him. And I always said at one point, we'll deserve our one-on-one when I get up there, so I can always show you everything that I've remembered and learned from you as well as over my career.
Right.
So Jake St. Patrick is definitely one. Who else? I'm getting comfortable now. I'm gonna put these boys in a duo, but I'm gonna put them as one because they're both amazing, but it's the Russell twins.
Okay.
I've been checking them out. So yeah, I've been checking them out. Yeah.
It's the Russell twins. Even Izzy, even all three of them, the Make-Its. Who else? That's 2, 3. My third would be in the indie scene. It's kind of hard because it's a lot of top talent out there. Will Austin.
Okay, yeah.
I definitely want to go one-on-one with Will Austin. Kylan King.
There you go.
I write him a couple of times, and I always say whenever the time and opportunity present itself, my boy, I'm always ready. Who else? That was 4. I got one more. Dang. If I could have an out of body experience, I would say me.
Okay.
If I could have an out of body experience, I would say me.
Okay.
And then the 5th one, as a matter of fact, I know Bobby Sanford.
Okay.
That's legend, underground, unsung. That's why I want to talk. That's why I say I want to talk about too the unsung heroes in the business that don't get that credit, like because they're not on TV. They got a hand in everybody that's coming up in the business.
Right.
Yeah,
Gotcha.
yeah, he one of them. Yeah.
Because me and Marlon, we gonna have a segment actually a couple segments talking about just indie wrestling in general. And because he I call him the indie guru. He know all about the indie scene and the indie circuit. I'm more the commercial guy, big brands and stuff like that. So that's what we kind of tag team.
And I got a couple boys in the coaching. I mean,
yeah. So the top 5 of all time. Big time.
I just recently ran through
Your Mount Rushmore. That's what you call it, Marlon? Your Mount Rushmore?
Mount Rushmore.
Rushmore.
Yeah.
HBK, Shawn Michaels.
All right.
I
know who's gonna be number 1. Now we just keep going. Go ahead.
We already know.
Randy Orton.
Okay.
Orton. He coming up, but he coming up, but I can see he's gonna do great things. Dante Martin.
Okay.
DM. Oh, okay.
Dante Martin.
Yeah.
That's
3. That's crazy. Doing the top Rushmore wrestlers is always hard because when you think about it, you be like, okay, I can say him, but this person, Eddie Guerrero.
Okay.
There you go.
Okay.
There you
of
go.
course, Eddie. Can't forget Eddie.
All time. Like he should be anybody top 5. I'm sorry. Yeah.
I agree with that. I definitely agree with that. You got a good lineup so far. I don't know the DM got it as much, but the other 3 that
you got to check out Dante Martin.
Yeah, I got to.
Yeah, he got to. Yeah.
Dude, you got to check out Dante. And then who else? My 5th one. This 5th one got to count, dude. This 5th one got to count.
We'll give you an honorable mention. We'll give you one honorable mention.
One honorable mention. Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah. I would say Rocky, The Rock.
Okay.
He's definitely up there.
Yeah.
For my honorable mention, I'm gonna say Cena, because believe it or not, going back to my childhood and the reason why I'm here, where I am today, Cena definitely played a crucial role in one of the personalities that I developed, especially during his never give up gimmick.
So you're a 90s baby, correct?
Mm-hmm.
So had you would have came up in the 80s, that would have been Hulk Hogan equivalent.
Yeah.
That's what I'm trying to tell Marlon, bro. Like those two characters, bro. I'm telling you, I don't know what it was about them. It's just like everything was right. The song, the outfit, the story.
They call me crazy, but Cena was the perfect package.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He was the modern day Hulk Hogan.
No, I'm not gonna say Cena is the perfect package. Because even if he come back,
yeah,
views are gonna go up, merch is gonna sell.
There you go. Yeah.
Perfect we was talking about that too. About how the merch. You know, when we were coming up, you can go that far back, like mid '90s, late '90s. You will see a lot of people with the DS shirts, the Goldberg shirts. Who else? We were talking John Cena shirts and stuff. And like now, you don't really see people walking around in public. We're talking about in public. If you were to go to the grocery store or to the mall.
I'm glad you brought that up. Which you are true. You don't really see too many fans wearing their wrestling gear in public or wearing their favorite paraphernalia. And I believe it's because it got lost in the art of when people say, oh, wrestling is this and wrestling is that.
Right.
No one wants to be caught in public wearing a John Cena shirt or a Roman Reigns shirt, which personally I feel like if you got the style and you got the drip to pull it off, then it shouldn't really matter.
At all.
It shouldn't really matter. Because when I went to go to AEW, CM Punk shirts that he got, the ones that he got out now, I was like, yo, I can get that shirt with some black ripped jeans and some fresh ones.
Nice.
And a nice chain. And I'm a drip and everybody gonna be like, yo, whose shirt is that? And I'm gonna say, yo, you don't know who CM Punk is? Like,
right.
So I think it's a lost art, which is why I said only reason why I haven't dropped merch yet is because I just don't want to drop t-shirts, bandanas, hats. I actually want to be one of the first ever Black professional wrestlers to have a successful brand.
Right.
There you go.
Outside.
Not only do I want to have a brand, but I also want to have a successful entertainment production level and a successful music record label.
Gotcha.
So it's not just about wrestling is going to get me to where I need to be to fulfill all those things.
It will, because you're going to have the platform. See, you get it.
Yeah. Wrestling makes people into household names.
Exactly.
So
there it goes.
As soon as my name gets up there and I launch merch, kids are gonna be like, "Yo, mommy, can I get the Nasir Santana tracksuit with the Jordans, or can I get the, I want to stream Nasir Santana's album? Oh, let me see that Nasir Santana movie, or Nasir Santana produced this." So it's just. I'm looking at it now as a business.
And you can fix it up every time you win. You have different music from your music to play at the end. With the match, that'll be real fresh. Nobody done that. Every time you win, it's a different music, bro. It's a different song.
I want to be able to own. I want to be able to own all my masters with my music. So wherever I go, if I go do a WWE show, y'all can get a percentage, but majority of that money's coming to me.
Hell, there you go.
AEW, I can get a percentage, but majority of that money is coming to me. Or you want to put my music in a video game? Sure, you can do that. I get royalties though.
There you go.
Yeah, right.
That way, because we see how everything's going. Like within the last year, 100 wrestlers got released.
Oh God.
Oh shit, y'all probably ain't get that update. So listen, bro.
Yeah, we're gonna have to do a part 2. Yeah,
we have to do a part 2. They're about to cut off on us. It give me like 45 minutes unless I upgrade to the pro.
We're finna talk about a whole.
We on the budget.
Yeah, so
we gotta do a part 2 for you. But what I'm gonna do before it cut us off, I'm gonna let you know. I'm gonna put all your information in the description. If you could text it to Marlon, that'll be great. How to contact you for your booking. All that stuff, bro. I'm gonna put it in the description and we'll set it up. And we're gonna do a part 2, ladies and gentlemen. Before we cut off, we got Nasir Santana. Y'all make sure y'all check him out on the 12th and the 13th. That'll be the next time you'll be able to see him. He'll have it on his Instagram that I have in the description. We got Marlon on the 1s and 2s. We'd like to thank you for your time. And we're going to have him on for a part 2, man. We appreciate you, bro. Keep up the good work, man.
Absolutely.